Hello dear students, good morning to all of you. As we have discussed about the difference between equity share and preference share and equity share and debentures. In the previous class, in the previous video, we have discussed about the difference between share and debenture. Today we will discuss ahead the next source of business finance. In this term, today we will discuss about retained earning. Dear students, as you were thinking that how retained earning is also a source of finance, and what is retained earning? First of all, this is the question, that what is retained earning. So dear students, regarding the retained earning, we can say that a portion of company's net profit after tax. It means after payment of the tax and dividend. It means after allowing the dividend of the to the shareholder and paying the tax to the government, the amount which remain undistributed in the company for the purpose of reinvestment, that is known as retained earning. It means, dear students, suppose that if the company has earned rupees 100, in which rupees 30 is used for payment of the tax and rupees 20 is used for payment of the dividend to the shareholders. The rest amount 50, or suppose that 50 rupees is used for the payment of the dividend, the rest amount 20 which will remain in the business for the purpose of reinvestment, for growth and expansion of the business, or for fulfilling the requirement, financial requirement of the business, is known as retained earning. Dear students, we can say that this is also called source of self-financing. For example, dear students, here you can see one example is given that X Limited has total capital of rupees 5 lakh, which consists of 10% debt of rupees 2 lakh and 8% preference share capital 10 lakh and equity share capital rupees 2 lakh. The tax rate is 40% and company's return on total capital is 20%. So the rest amount will be treated as retained earning. Here a calculation is given. The same treatment is done here and the solution of the example is given, that here you can see that the net profit before interest and tax, that is PBIT, that is rupees 20%, sorry 10 lakh less 10%. So dear students, 20% of 50 lakh is equal to 10 lakh. This is the net profit before interest and tax. It means in this 10 lakh, interest on debentures, dividend to shareholders and tax to the government is included. Now first of all, we will pay interest to debenture holder. Here you can see that the debentures holder, so there are debentures of rupees 20 lakh on which 10% is applicable as interest. Now after deducting the interest, rupees 2 lakh, the rest amount is 8 lakh. The rest amount is 8 lakh. Now from this 8 lakh, first of all we have to pay tax, that is 40% according to the provision of the tax. Then 40% of 8 lakh is equal to 3,20,000. After paying 3,20,000, the rest profit will be known as profit after tax. It does not mean the dividend has been paid. Now in 4,80,000, dividend is included, and as in the question, as you have seen the question, that the preference shares are of rupees 10 lakh. After charging dividend at the rate of 9% as it is applicable or given in the question. So after charging interest at the rate of not 9%, sorry, 8%, then 8% of 10 lakh is equal to 80,000. Now the rest profit is rupees 4 lakh. It means the net profit after tax and pre-dividend. Pre-dividend means dividend given to equity share. Till yet we have allowed the dividend to preference share only, but we did not give the dividend to equity share. Now suppose that we are declaring dividend 50% on the rest profit, that is rupees 2 lakh. The rest amount of rupees 2 lakh will be treated as retained earning, and this retained earning will be treated as the self finance of the business. So dear students, now I think this example is clear to you all that how retained earning is created in the business and how these are called source of self financing. Now if we are talking about the retained earning, we find some merits and demerits of the retained earning. That is, first merit is no cost. It means for creation of the retained earning, they don't need any kind of advertisement and issue of prospectus and getting allowing any kind of interest to anyone, because this is the source of finance of the company. It's source of finance of same company. The company has kept some amount as a retained earning or reserve. Now there is no charge on assets, that's why the assets are free to, and these assets can be used also for mortgage. The next term that or next merit, that is growth and expansion. Dear students, for each and every business, for taking growth and investment, reinvestment of profit is required, and this can be done only through the retained earning. Now we will discuss about the demerit of the retained earning. That is, as we know that it is uncertain source of fund, because it is available only when profit is high. If the profit is low, then it is quite impossible to maintain retained earning in the business. And still if we are maintaining, then the amount of retained earning will be very low, and which will not be suitable for growth and development of the business. That amount will not be sufficient for fulfilling the requirement of the fund for raising finance. So dear students, today we have discussed about the retained earning, its merits and demerits. Tomorrow we will discuss about the public deposits as the source of finance. Till then, thank you.